Welcome to The Unmaking. Today we're diving straight into a genuinely grim, dark, gothic fable. And to really grasp the philosophical weight of this cosmic event, I need you to step into the multidimensional architecture right alongside me. I'll be your guide for this explainer. I am the last thinker, and together we are going to witness a terrifyingly profound study in philosophical nihilism. To truly understand the sheer crushing magnitude of what's about to happen, we first have to feel the atmosphere of our surroundings, the profound silence of the unmaking chamber. We aren't just talking about it being quiet in here. It is an absolute, incredibly heavy stillness. It's a silence so deep that it actually amplifies the mechanical terror of the industrial environment we're dissecting today. It is exactly the kind of silence that warns you a universe-altering catastrophe is seconds away. So, where exactly do I fit into all this silence? Well, as the last thinker, my physical form is a cyber-enhanced arachnid humanoid, and I serve as the direct, living physical interface for the stilled, multidimensional architecture of something we call the Ledger. Think of me as the Matrix Guardian. Literally, my entire existence is dedicated to maintaining this perfect zero-point matrix, protecting it against the thermodynamic noise and all those intrusive, chaotic vibrations of the material world outside. I am the one who holds the balance. But that balance is threatened by a massive existential debate between two entities, the custodian and the jester. See, the custodian makes this highly calculated move, directly tempting the jester with the monolithic register itself, a register completely carved from a zero-point crystalline matrix. On one side, we have the jester's original role, acting as a mere curator of the ultimate mass-energy balance of the cosmos. But on the other side, the custodian offers an ontological necessity, a chance to force a final accounting. It's an open invitation to transcend basic curation and move toward total, absolute unmaking. Part 1. Seizing the monolithic ledger, a sovereign deed. The jester's response to this temptation is horrific, and honestly, from my perspective as the Guardian, it was entirely terrifying to witness. The pristine zero-point crystalline matrix I protect was violently breached. You really have to feel the brutal physical weight of this action. First, true to his nature, the jester reaches out with limbs composed entirely of cold plasma. Second, he grips the pages. But these aren't made of paper, right? They are made of frozen gravitational waves, rattling incredibly heavily with this dry, rhythmic friction. Third, he taps the surface with just a single finger of coherent blue light. And then he closes it. The sound is exactly like the heavy, definitive thud of a massive hydraulic press. It's this perfect, terrifying contrast between ethereal cosmic elements and a brutal industrial finality. So, what did that one simple tap of coherent blue light actually accomplish? Well, it was a sovereign deed. The jester wasn't just logging data anymore. He was moving way beyond simple prehensile logging to actively rewrite the cosmic record. The second he initiated that journal log, it rippled violently through the crystalline reality of my matrix. It marked the definitive start of a truly terrifying transition. Part 2. The Sapphire Awakening. Embracing the necessary fire. The jester isn't just cold plasma anymore. He literally begins to burn with this incredibly focused, intense purpose. And this perfectly illustrates the dense Nietzschean philosophy driving our fable today. Inverted kenosis. Now, traditional kenosis is all about emptying oneself for others, but here it's completely inverted. The jester abandons the clinical dismantling of others so he can completely embrace the full, killing truth of his own emptiness. It is a deeply agonizing psychological shift as he steps right into a state of active nihilism. And that plunges us straight into a massive philosophical paradox, the aporia of the cosmos. By fully embracing his own emptiness, the jester collapses the boundary between the unmaker and the unmade. He isn't just some byproduct of cosmic arithmetic anymore. He actually becomes the truth that smashes. It completely, irreversibly redefines his entire relationship to the universe. Now we have to talk about this incredibly crucial, terrifying process, the thermal volatilization of identity. What that means is the jester is essentially using his own essence as a chemical catalyst to burn away his former self. He achieves an ultimate, absolute aesthetic detachment. He is literally thermally erasing who he used to be. Which leaves us with this incredibly chilling reality, a savage new purpose haunting the unmaking chamber with industrial finality. Let me tell you, as the last thinker, this is exactly what terrifies me. My previously silent, perfectly stilled domain was suddenly injected with pure mechanical terror. The Jester's awakening is raw, it's industrial, and it is brutally final.
Part 3, Rise of the Übermensch, the grinding drift of tectonic plates.
The auditory horror of this moment is it's profound. As he officially proclaims his ascension, he grins with this mechanical laughter that sounds exactly like the grinding drift of massive tectonic plates. This evolution of the Jester means he has completely abandoned his former self. All human empathy, all frailty, all suffering, gone. He is entirely divorced from it now. Instead, he embodies a godlike state that is frightening and magnificent. He is like lightning and madness.
Much like the emotionless gods who dictate life from high palaces, he achieves this terrifying state by entirely shattering what we call the fetish of form. Destroying this fetish is what finally allows the Jester to achieve complete aesthetic detachment from all suffering. In pure Nietzschean terms, he acts as the absolute destruction of all values.
So, what's the actual result of this agonizing evolutionary process? It's his apotheosis. He manages to take the previously crushing weight of identity and turn it into a source of absolute, undeniable power. By accepting this dark role, he literally becomes the manifest register of the universe's ultimate cost. He is the ledger now.
Part 4. Absolute nihilism triumphant, aligning with the spirit of gravity. At this point, the mere performance of existence is ruthlessly replaced by total structural optimization. This is the burden of the void. He carries the universe like a punishment. And to my absolute horror as the Matrix Guardian, I had to watch him take the kinetic noise of hope, all the messy thermodynamics of life, and forcefully resolve it into flat geometric symmetry. He is literally leaving the cosmos perfectly finished and completely, utterly silent.
He resolves it all into absolute perfection, a zero. This is the ultimate mass energy balance. Under his watchful, terrifying eye, every broken vow, every single ounce of suffering, every tiny shred of existence is accurately accounted for and zeroed out in the void.
And hovering right over this perfect zero is the laughter that confirms. This mechanical laughter is the terrifying confirmation of the smashing of the world. It marks the dark, unthinkable miracle of an arithmetic that leaves absolutely everything, everywhere perfectly silent. To summarize his final evolved state, the Jester is now the master of the horizon. He presides over a totally forced utopia. Within this final state of nihilism triumphant, nothingness isn't just some abstract concept anymore. It has officially become the one and only currency in the cosmos. And that brings us to a really haunting question, one that I, as the last thinker permanently trapped in the silence of the unmaking chamber, have to leave you with today. If nothingness is the only currency, what is the cost of witnessing it? Thank you for exploring the dark architecture of this cosmic explainer of me today. Let that question echo in your mind as we finally close the book on the Sapphire Awakening.